watched my last Monotheme perfume review, you will have seen me very confidently saying, I think these vegan Book of Citrus perfumes, the little range that they do, I think these might be my favourite Monotheme perfumes. And so I've got a few more here. And I can hand on heart say they're not my favourite Monotheme perfumes because they're not quite what I was expecting. And having read a lot of reviews, I really thought I should definitely review these and talk about them because they don't really smell the way that I've heard people describe them. Not on me anyway, and not to me. So, okay, so this is the one that I really wanted in the first place. And then I ended up getting the Zagara, I think it's called, or Zagra or something like that. I've already sold that one. Someone already snapped it up off me, so I couldn't show it, I'm afraid, with these. But I have that in my previous Monotheme haul. If you want to go and watch it, I will link it at the end of this video. That one is like a kind of bitter orange and neroli. It's really pretty. It's very, very soapy, and it was really nice, but it was very, very similar to a Scentology perfume I already have, which is basically orange blossom and pomelo. And that one, it was slightly more fruity in a way that I kind of just preferred. And the longevity on them was probably pretty similar. So when these came back into makeup.uk, I snapped them up really quickly. I think all of these were £15 and below. So I was like, I'm just going to get the ones I feel interested in. There were a couple that I definitely knew that I wasn't interested in, but these are the ones I fancied. So this, weirdly, is one that I thought I had smelled, and I'm pretty sure I did smell in Marks and Spencer's, and I thought it smelled lovely. And then when I put it on my skin, when I got it, not so much for me. So if we move these down here, I'm going to spray this one out. Let me see. Okay. I love these bottles though. I really do think these bottles are beautiful. They're lovely. I mean, oh, gorgeous, isn't it? Let's make sure I've got this in focus because the bottles are so pretty. So this one is Verde de Arancia, which is a green orange. Okay. I am pretty sure this is the one that I smelled in M&S, but they're 24 quid in there, so I was like... Now, just sniffing this from the bottle, before I even spray it, it smells like a man's cologne to me. So there is definitely something in here that is not agreeing with me at all, because the reviews on Fragrantica said this one was quite feminine, and I don't agree. See, when you first spray it, it smells like bitter candied orange peel, and it is lovely. And that's probably what I was getting in Marks and Spencer. So that's what I could smell on the paper in there. And I guess I never really got to the dry down, or at least I came home with that in my pocket. And probably by the time, knowing the longevity of these now, it had probably gone by the time I got home. But the more it dries down, the more this weird kind of woody, masculine smell starts coming through. There's like a barky, dark smell in this that really makes it smell like a cologne. Now, it does remind me a little bit of some male colognes I've smelt before, but it's hard to remember what they are. I have a feeling I had a little tester once from Atelier Cologne. That, I mean, I know they're supposed to be unisex. I think, was it Bohemian Orange or something? And I remember that one smelling like a beautiful kind of zesty green orange, but also being way too masculine for me. Yeah, I find this one really smells like a man's cologne, like a very specific, like not unisex smell to me. Many people disagree with me, so I don't know, but this one retains a fair bit of its fruitiness. It doesn't last well, actually, that's not true. This one lasts way longer than any of the other Monothemes that I've got, or that I've smelt. Very beautiful zestiness, very beautiful orange note, but there's definitely something in here that doesn't agree with me. Now, they only list for this orange peel and orange, and there's no way that that's true. And the fact that they've got this here, this flower, definitely suggests that there's something else in this, because they do tend to put what's in it on the front. So there is something here. I bet you it's neroli or something. Yeah, it's just wet. It's just too masculine for me. I just couldn't. I couldn't wait to get this off my skin. I tried it on my skin and I really did not like it. I just felt like I'd sprayed on a man's cologne. So that one, not for me, definitely not. And that's the one I really thought was going to be for me. So it's very disappointing. But now, Boccioli di Limon. Oof, I am going to apologise if anyone can speak Italian, because I will butcher this, I'm afraid. So this is lemon and flowers. Some kind of lemon blossom, I think. Let me just have a little look. Lemon and lemon blossom. Lemon, it says, in fact, lemon peel and lemon blossom, interestingly. I think part of what's disappointing me about these is that I wanted them to be way juicier than they are. And I think a lot of them are very green and pithy, you know. I'll say that again, pithy, with a TH. So it's like the pith and the rind and the oil from the fruits, and not very much of the juice, which is a bit disappointing for me. Okay, now this one I think is probably the safest of the bunch, and I think will be the most mass appealing. I mean, Zagara, I'm not saying that right, but the one that's the orange blossom and smells like orange blossom trees, I think that one's pretty good as well. I think that one's probably quite safe. But in terms of easy to wear, this one I think might be quite good, because it definitely dries down and smells a little bit vanilla-y. Starts off sharp lemon, and I won't lie, it definitely smells a little bit cleaning producty when you first spray it, but the more it dries down, the more it starts to smell almost a little bit like cakey, and it has like a slightly floral, slightly musky vanilla smell. So I don't mind this one. I think it's quite pretty. It doesn't last particularly long, and then it definitely dries down to be a little bit more creamy. Still quite soapy, but I have quite a few citrusy vanillas, and this is not going to be one that I'm going to reach for above like my Lush Hairdresser's Husband, or for instance Lolita Lempicka Green Lover, or you know, I've got another one actually recently that I completely have forgotten the name of, but I have nice citrusy vanillas, so I don't really feel the need to keep this one, because I feel like that's kind of what it turns into, is a very light citrus vanilla, lemony vanilla. And this one doesn't smell as natural as Hairdresser's Husband, and you know that's Lush, right? So it's real, quite natural oils. And they actually, to be fair, these are vegan. They've got a lot of natural extracts, but I think they smell a little bit more kind of shampoo-y, cleaning product-y than some of my citrusy Lushes, you know, which is to be expected. But yeah, this one's not for me, but I think if you like lemon perfumes that just have a touch of sweetness, and you quite like vanilla perfumes, like floral vanillas, then this might be a really good summer perfume. It's not for me personally, but it's not one that I actually dislike. It's just one I don't need in my collection. So that's oh dear, Boccioli di Limon. Oof, I'm really so typically English with how rubbish I am at doing any other languages. So this one, easier, lime, hallelujah. So this lime, I really was interested in this because I don't have many limes. I have a 4711 lime perfume, which I really like, but I can only wear it in high heat because it does lean slightly masculine when it's not high heat. But I just thought I might as well try this. I'm trying the others. Okay, let's take this one out. Give it a spray. So of the bunch, this one's my favourite. I still am not going to pretend that I think it's particularly good, because I don't think it's particularly good, but it's my favourite of these. Beautiful lime when you first spray it. Now, the notes on this are pettigrain, lime, linden blossom, neroli, and musk. So, one commenter under Fragrantica said, this is a really nice lime perfume that doesn't have enough lime. And I kind of know what they mean, because you first spray it, heavenly, bright, sharp, you can almost smell the wax, waxy lime, but very juicy. A little bit more fruit juice in this one than any of the others I smelt. But then you quite quickly get that linden blossom coming through. I mean, the pettigrain it's green. It's got a real greenness to it. But the linden blossom I recognise, because I've got quite a few perfumes with linden blossom, and I do like it. But when you mix it with that neroli and musk, you quite quickly get a soap. But it's quite a nice creamy bar soap. So this smells like a very zesty lime scented bar soap. See, it's already getting there. It's already starting to smell like soap, and it's only been like, a minute? It stays very green. It stays quite pithy, quite lime oily. Like I said, it's not just the juice. It's like the whole thing. And it's really pretty, and I really like this one. The only problem I have with this perfume is that it lasts on me for about 10 minutes. So it's one that I will hang on to because I do like it, and I don't have, like I said, many lime perfumes. I think I've got Burberry Brit. I've got one that's has got lime in it, like a tropically kind of Escada style one. But yeah, I don't, and then the 4711, I don't really have many limes, so I do quite like this. I think it's fun. All of these get more kind of sweet and soapy on skin, definitely, than they do on card. But yeah, I'm going to keep hold of it because I'm going to have to try it at different times of year, because I tried this in quite warm summer weather and it just does not last on me. Now, that might just be because my skin eats it up, but my general experience, even though they're eau de toilettes, is that the Monotheme perfumes don't really last very long generally. This is the only one that I haven't been able to get off, and I don't know if that's just because it leaves a kind of woody, masculine scent on me that I'm just really, really notice. You know what it's like if you don't like something. It just feels like it stays forever. But generally speaking, the vegan ones really don't last at all. Like, they're really, really fleeting. They're also very cheap, so I'd happily respray it. I probably wouldn't bother wearing it to work because I'd have to take a decant or take the whole bottle and just keep respraying it. But I think for wearing at home, this might be really nice. I'm going to hang on to it and see how I get on with it. These two I'm going to pass on because they're just not really for me. Like I said, this one, I just straight up don't like it. This one, I just don't need it because I have other citrusy, vanilla-y, kind of slightly creamy perfumes. But this one, I will keep hold of lime because I think it's kind of, in a way, the most unique of them. Just because you don't really get that much lime perfume. So those are the other Monotheme. That's the rest of the book of citrus. I think that's all. Maybe there's one more that's available. There might be 5, but so I hope this was helpful to anyone who's been looking at them.